Judgment time.
Welcome to Everything Comes Back to 2008, and today I'm joined by the Luddite, Mr. Stephen Ross.
Mr. Rossi, what you want? Oh, the tree of ice cream cones, a cocoa castle full of home, custard cakes, coffee breaks, holiday world will say.
Yes, I speak to you from the past, from days of yore, with my 2017 computer and my 13.5 operating system.
And Mr. John Burtis.
Hello to all you drockers out there. From as I turn across and look out the window, a damp, missus, Maidstone in the Garden of England, where everyone wants to come and live because it's so beautiful.
Oh, by the way, Flint doesn't like me to do fake news. My operating system is 10.13, so it's Sierra. It's really old, so can't do anything like talk to you guys.
What we had to do in the end, because Rossi's so terrible, I got an old bean tin and I got some string and I've thrown the other side of the string across to the Americas, and Rossi's attached a bit of that string to his tin and also put a tin on the other end of a piece of string, and he's thrown it back across to Flint. And that's how we're using our computers today because of Rossi.
Yes, but unfortunately, all the information is like out there in the open now, and the advertisers and everybody else is sucking our information.
Rossi's information was caught by carrier pigeon by the Chinese. So they all have it now.
Mm-hmm.
So if Rossi dies, it disappears next week, we know he's been abducted because he has so many secrets to destroy America.
You know what they speak?
Chinese.
Carrier pigeon English.
Pigeon English, get it?
You're not even a father, and you did a terrible dad joke. You could do that as a standard routine. Hey, I'm not a father, but get a load of this shit.
That's basically story time.
Well, I suppose because we're all laughing way too much, we better talk about deaths, baby. Well, I only had one this morning when I was waking up, which I'd got a few days ago because it was on the news. And then these two buggers give me some more, and then I found another one on the web. Right, so let's start with a person who they said he was a rock legend called Gary Manny Mountfield, or Mountfield, yeah. Age 63, English rock bassist of the Stone Roses and Primal Scream. And they started on the radio that night when I was at work. They did a sort of a compilation of all of his main sort of like riffs. And I'm like, well, I recognize that one. But the rest I didn't recognize because it's not my scene. But lots of famous people who loved his work came on and said how influential he was. So, I mean, 63 is not an old age, and obviously he wouldn't have got his pension like all the public sector. Well, he probably, if he was in the public sector, he'd have been on his pension for the last fucking 20 odd years. But unlike those private sectors, he still had another 15 minimum to go. But yes, he has left this mortal coil, and I could say the songs that he was part of, but I haven't got a clue what they are. And in 2007, he won the NME Awards, the Godlike Genius Award, when he was part of Primal Scream. Yes, Mr. Ross?
Aren't all those bands that used to be mentioned in Deadline all the time? And by that point,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what they sound like or who they are.
They did the Manchester Monkey Walk stuff and all that shit.
Yeah, I was never that cool.
Yeah, anyway, so he's gone. Next up is my favorite one of the ones which I found. And now I will say this: we will all have, us three have definitely seen him. Carl Chiafalio, age 72, an American actor and stuntman. Have you heard of him?
No, but I'm sure we've seen like a ton of his stuff.
He played the Thing in Roger Corman's produced but unreleased film, The Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah, I definitely seen that.
Exactly. And then when you go down the list of TV shows and films he's been in as a stuntman or actor and all that sort of stuff, he was in BG and the Bear. I always used to laugh at Blowjob and the Bear, and where Mrs. Scarecrow, Mrs. King, Simon and Simon, They Came from Outer Space, The Flash, Murder, She Wrote, Quantum Leap, Alien Nation, Dallas, Babylon 5, Third Space, The Bold and the Beautiful, ER, Without Trace, Sharknado 2, Justified.
Wow.
Community.
So he took a step up from Roger Corman to be in Sharknado.
Sharknado.
Yeah.
Westworld. Now we get into the film roles. He was in Commando, To Live and Die in LA, Runaway Train, Police Academy 3, Invaders from Mars, Extreme Prejudice. Ooh, who's filmed that? Death Wish 4, Beetlejuice, Halloween 4.
Death Wish 4, wow. So he took a step up from Sharknado to be in Death Wish 4.
Hang on. Wait, we got some good ones coming up, right?
All right.
Lock Up, Johnny Handsome, Glory, The Hunt for Red October, Robocop 2.
What was his name again?
His name was Carl Chiarfalio.
Oh, okay.
If he was in Commando, he was probably one of those five guys with mustaches that they killed 20 times.
Yeah. He was Wayne's World, Sneakers, Sweet Justice, Street Night, Robocop 3. And it says in Robocop 3, he played an unnamed resistance fighter against OCP. Sister Act 2, Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Wow, this is like the Troy McClure list.
Yeah, Batman and Robin. I'm missing.
I thought it was Tim Thomerson that died or something.
Nah, AI, artificial intelligence, Daredevil, Bruce Almighty, Bad Santa, Starsky Nutch. Fuck me, we're still going here. Mission Impossible 3. Let's get
for Batman and Robin. Don the Dragon Wilson, who has starred in probably like at least a dozen movies for people like Roger Corman, but he's been like the above the title of the movie The Star. When you see his resume or when he lists his film credits, he always lists Batman and Robin and he's like literally in one scene, he's like a henchman in that glow in the dark neon alley, fluorescent alley fight scene. And I think Scott Adkins did that too. Like Scott Adkins, he's one of the henchmen who fights Doctor Strange's cape. So he puts like Doctor Strange as one of his credits, and it's like, raw.
that lot was under film roles, but weirdly, when you get to the bottom of that, it comes up with actual actor film. Oh, hang on, was that stuntman film roles? Must have been. No, it doesn't say anything. It's just film roles. Next one. We've got that. They must have all been stunt stuff because the next it says actor. So he was in loads of stuff on here. License to Kill. I won't say the same films. He was Paulie in Out for Justice. That was on your films as a Ross that you like. It's all that sort of stuff. Excessive Force. In The Line of Fire, he was a CIA agent. Natural Born Killers. The Candyman. Farewell to the Flesh. Con Air. He was one of the Con number 1. He was in Con Air. Fight Club.
So he was the title character. So did you say Excessive Force 1 or 2?
Oh, I'm not scrolling back up for that fucking thing. What year was that? Oh, hang on, Excessive Force. He was guard number 1 in 1993's Excessive Force.
Excessive Force 2 is the better one.
Right. Then in television, he did Lord of the Incredible Hulk, The Fall Guy, Scarecrow, Mr. King, The New Mike Hammer, Sledgehammer. That was one of my favourite fucking programs.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Yeah. Dynasty, Falkland Crest, Baywatch, Married with Children, Texas Walker, Texas Ranger. Fucking, he was in that a few times over the years. Fucking hell, yeah. Fucking loads of shit. So he did tons of stuff as like bit part people and stuntmen and stuff. But the thing that we'll always know him for is being the Thing.
So the guy who nobody's heard of gets like way more time than all the other guys.
Well, the thing is, when you look at how busy, the thing is, you look at how busy he was. So if you're doing the stunts for those things that are the fest lists, you just go, well, obviously that you don't just turn up on the set that day. You've got to plan everything and all that stuff. So he was one of those lucky people, a bit part person in movies, but he was busy throughout his entire life. You know, where you look at actors and they disappear for years because they just don't get the roles.
Yeah.
So what would you rather be? Would you rather be an actor who we suddenly see 2 films every 5 years, where this person, he's just there constantly. He's probably turned down loads of shit because he's so fucking in demand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that kind of job is feast or famine. It sounds like he was constantly, it sounds like he never went without lunch. So that's great.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, fair play. Like these kind of guys, they show up, they do a good job. It's like, then they pass away. It's like, let's give them a little extra time because.
The thing is, they are the.
Let's recognize their service.
They're the lifeblood of the films. If you didn't have them, you know, I mean, the main star wouldn't be fucking good. If he didn't, if you did shit fucking stunt work, I mean, we've all seen shit stunt work. You know what I mean? So as long as it's decent.
And that's why I have a mixed feelings about the whole Hollywood burn thing, where it's like they've been putting out shit movies and insulting fans and acting like dicks, but it's kind of like, yeah, the people you see and hear do that, but then there's guys like this who, now they can't get jobs and now they're delivering Uber Eats or something like that. So
right, next one, we'd have all seen him, this one in our films. It's Udo Kier, aged 81, the German actor, and he died somewhere I was only a few months ago in Palm Springs. Woo!
Ooh.
It says here.
Oh my God, he must have been gay.
Yeah, well, he looks like he was gay. I might have actually seen him in one of the restaurants. And it says, known primarily as a character actor who portrayed eccentric and our favorite type of person, deviant figures. He appeared in more than 220 films in both leading and supporting roles throughout Europe and the Americas. And he had collaborated with filmmakers such as Lars von Trier, Gus Van Sant, Werner Herzog. Let's get these other names.
He was in the. I think he was the Nazi guy in
everything.
In everything, yeah. You know the one where they go to the moon, the Nazis in the moon. That bleep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was the main hidden race, the race guy at the end that turned into a reptile or something.
Yeah, and he was in Blade, which pretty much kicked off the MCU.
And we nearly didn't get him because of us allies, because it says he was born on the 14th of October 1944 in Cologne towards the end of World War II. The hospital where he was born was bombed by the Allies. Hooray! Moments after his birth, and he and his mother had to be dug out of the rubble. It says,
you know how he can tell he was gay?
I'm ready for your father joke, your dad joke.
Because Big Gay Ron said that Palm Springs is where old queens go to die.
And he did die.
Yes, I know. It's like,
wow.
It couldn't be a coincidence with all that. So
God, that'd be terrible, wouldn't it? If I decide to go there again with Carolyn when I'm like a lot older and I die, then that'd be me. People say he went there.
Right. You were just going to go into the 7-Eleven to get a soda or something, and you collapsed on the sidewalk, and it's like, dang!
It's like an elephant going back to the elephant's graveyard to die. They go back there.
Right. We're going to Palm Springs.
It says, in his youth, he was an altar boy, and he moved to London, England, at the age of 18 to learn English. And then it says here, his most famous Hollywood roles include his appearance as Ron Camp in Ace Ventura. He was also in Barbed Wire, Armageddon, Adventures of Pinocchio, Johnny Mnemonic. He also appeared in music videos for Madonna's songs Erotica and Deeper and Deeper. He also appeared in Korn videos and Gwen Stefani's videos. Fuck me.
Cool.
He was in
does it say he was in one of the Blood Rain movies?
Hang on, I'll go to the movies then, right? Here we go. Filmographies. Let's start. Fleshfoot Frankenstein. He was Baron from Frankenstein, 72. Blood for Dracula. Spermula. There's a good one. Suspira. The Fifth Commandment. Hungarian Rhapsody. Dr. Jekyll et Les Femmes. I think these are all sex ones, basically. Epidemic. These Terror 2000. Let's get to some westerny ones. Here we go. A Trick of the Light, Johnny Mnemonic, Over My Dead Body, Barbed Wire, End of Violence, Prince Valiant, Armageddon, Blade. He was in Blade. I remember his face from there. End of Days. Then the Shadow of the Vampire. Yep, that's 1999. Let's get into the modernish ones. All the Queen's Men. Dogville. Dracula 3000. Blood Rain. Well done. He was the regal monk in Blood Rain.
Yep.
Far Cry. Keyhole. The Theatre Bazaar. Iron Sky. There's that one you're on about, Flint. Iron Sky.
Yeah, Iron Sky. He's in both of them, I think.
Nymphomaniac.
Crap.
Lars von Trier film. Of course it fucking is.
Yeah, so he goes so it sounds like he goes back and forth between like these mainstream but cult films, and then
he's all over.
Really
he was
really gnarly deviant movies.
He narrated the USA version of Hitler's Hollywood. I wonder if you're in there. Iron Sky, The Coming Race. He was in that. And then a shitload of TV stuff. Fuck me. Yeah, video games. He was in video games as voices. Command and Conquer, Call of Duty, World War II, of course. Here we go. Here's the videos. There, you know the two Madonnas. He was in the Goo Goo Dolls. He was in Supertramps, Rauhauser, Korn, Eve featuring Gwen Stefani, RMB, and Terra Nova. Do you know what? I don't think I've ever known a fucking film person be in that many fucking pop videos. Because normally you might get one or two, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I might actually look at those later on and just.
Well, I wonder how many music videos Ron Jeremy's been in.
Well, yes. Anyway, talking about music videos, we've got a death from the world of music. We got Jimmy Cliff, and Samuel sent me this earlier as well, telling me this. I don't know how the fuck he finds these deaths, but well done, my son. So Jimmy Cliff, aged 81, and he's Jamaican, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame not long ago. And let me just open up his page, because we all know Many Rivers to Cross, that one. You can get
Can you read this in your Pakistani Jamaican accent?
Well, let me just. I'm going to concentrate now. Yeah, man, Many Rivers to Cross. I think that was perfect. I think that was even more Bob Marley.
Wait. Do it again. Let me add some music to it.
Yeah, man, Many Rivers to Cross. Yeah, that's where we finally got cancelled.
Yep. It sounds like you're reading it backwards. What the hell?
He also did a cover of a Hakuna Matata. Oh, interesting. He did I Can See Clearly Now the Rain Has Gone for the film Cool Runnings. And he also starred in the film The Harder They Come, which helped popularize reggae around the world.
Never heard of it.
No, I've not. Let's have a look down. I'm going down.
They used to show that at the revival movie house I used to go to all the time, and I never saw it because I'm not a reggae guy.
Is
at all.
I'm looking at the albums and the peak positions in the USA and the UK, and out of about 20 odd albums, the only time we got any closer to the top of the charts was in 1972 with The Harder They Come. He got number 5 in Sweden, but 140 in the US. It's not very good in that, but it's the song, it's the actual them few singles that really did well. Here we go, the singles.
Well, I can vouch for, just because something doesn't chart very high doesn't mean just because it doesn't have mass appeal doesn't mean that it's not good. So
I know, just because I'm looking at, I can see clearly now. I mean, I can't. I'll have to scroll up, but it was number 1 in 2 countries. But I think that end one is America, which is 18. Yeah. You only could have it at 18 because you didn't like it because he was black.
That's true.
So that was the only one that he got. I can see clearly now. But yeah, I remember that song, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so he has left this mortal coil. On the final one, this one is...
He's no longer in Babylon.
No, that's much better than mine, isn't it? That's why Mr. Ross is a man of 1,000 voices. Well, and I'm a man of 2 voices, my own and my Pakistani.
He's Rossi's the man of 1,000. Rossi's the man of 1,000 voices and 1,000,000 excuses.
Yeah.
Right, Mr. Ross, this one's for you.
All of them good.
Which Flint dug out. This person is Dharmendra, aged 89, Indian actor he is. And he was a producer and politician, primarily known for his work in Hindi films. So, I mean, I could just list all these films, but I'll be here for 1,000 years.
I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what, can you scroll down to like the 2000s-ish? And are there any that you can pronounce easily?
Sadly, it doesn't. It just gives me the awards he was nominated for and things. It's not giving a list of the films, which I don't know why. Oh, well, I can read some names here, but let me just see if I can find some names.
Because they probably figured like, oh, no one's gonna know what this is.
Yeah, I mean, fuck me. No, these are all fucking. I can't even tell if it's the name of the film or an actor's name.
That's fine.
Raj Khosla's action drama, Mera Gan, Mera Desh. I'll do another one. And he was in a massive blockbuster in Sita O Gita and super hit in Raja Jani. And also he was in Samadhi. I know these are films, so as I'm touching them, it's showing up the film poster, so I'm getting them bang on.
Yeah, Samadhi.
The mystery thriller.
Was Samadhi an action thriller?
Chilki Uspa. And the action drama, Jongno.
I like that with a side of curry, please.
The spy thriller.
I think you can, Jonathan. I think you've expanded your talent there. I have. Practice.
I shall
with
just
some practice.
I'll be a TV announcer in India.
Yeah.
The film is Dil Bhi Tera Hum Di Ba.
Look,
now,
I don't want. I don't want you summoning the Cenobites with that, okay? Just
no. Weirdly, you mentioned the food there, Flint. When I went to a Chinese takeaway the other night because we were coming back from Sam's, and I thought, right, I'll get some food because we had what you call it, Spanish tapas. We had tapas, and so that didn't fill me up. So I said, I'll get some food on the way back. I said, I'll pop to the Chinese. I didn't use that terminology. I used the terminology that you're not allowed to use nowadays, which Flint will know exactly the term I used. And the one I was going to go to is our favorite. It was fucking rammed. So I thought, I remember New Year's Eve when we were there for fucking 2 days waiting for our food. So I'm not going to go in there now. I shall go to this other one. I went in there and I thought, right, what I'm going to have, I'm going to have sweet and sour chicken balls, with some rice. And then I noticed they did chips and gravy. And I thought, well, I'll have a portion of that and see what that's like.
So that's really good. That's what they do in Ireland all the time. They put curry chips with gravy.
No, I don't want curry chips. I want normal chips with just gravy. They did do chips and curry, chips and barbecue sauce and something else. But I thought, let's see what the gravy's like, because when at home in Hartlepool, my favourite chips and gravy was at Mucky Mary's. And the most I've eaten on that is 3 portions, 1.5 on the way home, and the other 1.5 when I got in the house. Fuck me.
That does sound good.
Oh, it's so thick. It's like a big turd's being laid over it. It's awesome.
That's what you said.
I've got pictures of it. It's brilliant. But the thing is, because I have it so little now, when I go back, it goes right through me. But I know I'll suffer by eating it, but I'm going to fucking well eat it. But anyway, so I went in, gets home, opens it up, takes a fist bite out of the chicken ball. It's fucking pork ball. So I thought, oh, fuck this. I just took all the pork out and just ate the fucking coatings. But the chips and gravy were nice. So I will be going there for chips and gravy again, whilst I drag them across the counter and say, you fucking pair of idiots. How the fuck does chicken sound like pork? I know people fucking ask me, what did you say? A few times, but that's normally my surname when I'm pronouncing it. But anyway, that's that. Deaths and the future death of the people in the Chinese restaurant. Chinese takeaway.
Well, I don't have anything this time.
Oh my God! It's because he's winning so much.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you, my coworker from London was happy because his Chelsea team did well this weekend. He said so. Because usually it's usually either something politics or something football.
Does he subscribe to like the TV to watch the Chelsea stuff, or does he just watch it on the internet?
No, I don't know. But he tells me that he gets up at some ungodly hour to watch it
obviously
live.
watches it then.
Yeah, he's like he gets up at like 5 o'clock or 6 in the morning to watch it.
You need to wear that Tottenham shirt when you go in one day. I'm telling you, I fucking loved it. Either reaction.
He's I mean, he was wearing the team shirt, and we're not supposed to wear sports or bands or slogans or whatever on our shirts unless it's
anti-Trump.
Yeah, unless it's on the right side of history. So the other day, so we have these vinyl stickers that we sell. You know, they're $3 or $5. So they brought in these baseball caps that looked like the LA Dodgers baseball cap, but it said something about ice on it, and I was like, oh man, really? And so then we had these vinyl stickers that said Chinga la migra, which means fuck the immigration police.
Oh God.
And I was like, we're only getting away with this because 90% of our clientele doesn't know what this says. So, but I'm like, okay, they're clearly picking sides. Can't be a nice place for everybody. So
right.
But anyway, no, I don't have anything. You know, I don't have any deaths. I would have told you if I did. So,
well, tell us all about Kickstarter Corner, Rossi.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a lot for Kickstarter Corner. Well, it's all good news for Kickstarter Corner. First, I got a message from White Heat Comics saying that
You're sacked.
Oh, well, I don't know why I turned in my last script on time last time. So, you know, but what is it? It's at the printer.
Yeah, it's at the printer now at the moment. So I got all the fulfillment stuff sorted out, paid for, and everything else. So I should be getting some emails in the next week or so with tracking information for people.
Oh.
So I'll put a nice little happy face on the Kickstarter thing for White Heat that I feel good about that campaign. And then I finally got from Cynthia Rothrock.
Oh.
It literally said Cynthia Rothrock sent the email.
Was your browser able to handle it?
I'll have you know it did, because my browser can do 98% of the things I wanted to until somebody gets a shiny new toy and everybody's expected to keep up. So anyway,
The man of a million excuses. Go ahead.
Not an excuse, fact. So anyway, so I got something from Cynthia Rothrock that Black Creek digitals are available. So I was, I'll be honest with you. So I've got the Blu-ray. I've got the digital movie. I got a real paper movie poster in with the Blu-ray.
So you got the Blu-ray before you got the digital.
What's that?
You got the Blu-ray before the digital.
Yes. Apparently they're still concerned about piracy or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Not that you can pirate a Blu-ray, is
it? If you saw the movie, everyone's a boomer. So as far as the technology,
I thought you were going to say if you saw the movie, you wouldn't want to fucking pirate it.
Okay, so we talked about that. we talked about the qualities of Black Creek versus Deathstalker last time. So yes. I paid for it once with the to get the Blu-ray, and I think I'm supposed to get a digital copy of that, of the movie. But I did not want to pay for it a second time, even though it showed up on Amazon long before I got my, it showed up for rent on Amazon long before I got my physical Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So I felt justified when a digital copy did become available on Burgess Prime and downloading it so I could see where I had spent my money, because I did spend some money on it. Anyway, so I went for the big
They were
package.
concerned about piracy. You ended up pirating it.
Yes. So much for that.
I know.
Where there's a will, there's a way. So, but well, it's not piracy if you've already paid for it somewhere down the line. And I paid it. I went for the big bucks.
No, but the point is that I know. But the point is they were worried about it being pirated. But that's what you ended up doing to watch it.
Right, and and it obviously became available to enough people. I don't know if they know. I don't know if they understand how and where and why these things get pirated from. So that being what it is, I got access to the Google Drive where I was able to download the MP3s of the soundtrack, which I kind of didn't do because I knew I was never going to listen to it. And then I got the script, which is what I wanted to see, written by Cynthia Rothrock and 2 other people, and digital copies of the movie poster. So for what it is, it's an okay movie poster, but this is kind of mean. This is going to be a mean thing to say, but I kind of went through the script and I noticed that whenever a new character is introduced, they say what the character's approximate age should be, except for Cynthia Rothrock's character. Because, as I said before, I think the youngest person with a speaking line in this movie was probably in her 40s. And everybody else is like minimum 50, more median age is probably like late 60s, early 70s. So anyway, so that one, as far as I'm concerned, that one's done, been fulfilled. Close the book on it. And then I think I got a couple. The 70s. I think this comic is haunted finished. You're gonna hear a little bit of typing because
I think it's
make sure.
I don't think it's finished yet. I know it's very soon, isn't it?
Well, I have a couple of other numbers I want to get right too. So, but yeah. So that's either. I mean, that's long fulfilled. So this comic is Haunted issue 5 by Dave. Oh, Dave Healy's name is on this one. All right, so they raised $3,737. 6 days to go, 121 backers. So get on that, everybody. What do you think he's going to make when it's closed, Flint?
How much is it at now?
3,737 with 6 days to go. He's
I
for sure he's going to
make
make
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably
Okay.
around 5.
All right, that's cool.
That's what I'm guessing.
So anyway, it looks like there's still lots of whatchamacallit, perks. And then, and he says it'll be ready by Christmas of 2025. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so the other big Kickstarter is You're the Hunter from the Future, which you can't get now because it closed with 221 backers, $8,802. I am happy, even though I kind of thought it should have gotten more. But we were talking about it a little bit because beforehand, because I'm kind of wondering if the movie is more of a liability than I thought. Since everything comes back to Gary Newman once said that it was harder to make a comeback than to be famous initially, because everybody thinks they know what they can expect from you, even if you've completely redone and rebranded your thing. And so I kept trying to sell it as a cult classic movie, but it's not a great movie. Let's put it. But the comic is awesome. So I was trying to sell the awesome comic that changes how you might look at the movie, and it was kind of like, well, okay, so 221 people bought into that, so cool. Not to be confused with the Queen of Mars presents Death and Thorxus, Maid of Mars, which is just boobs all the time. It's a ripoff of John Carter with tons of boob variant covers, and look, you can get a cover of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy making out as a variant cover. The creator does not own the rights to either of those characters, but hey, AI is theft. Yeah, so anyway, there's that one.
That has an Alex Ronald cover, I think. The variant.
Oh, that must be, yeah. That, you know what? That's what caught my eye. Yep. So anyway, it's basically it actually is it actually is an Edgar Rice Burroughs Barsoomian thing. I think this person doesn't realize that a lot of these character names are trademarked. I think they're playing on the idea that it's whatchamacallit,
the public domain.
Yeah, I think the books are public domain, but the character names are trademarked. So, oh shit, my dad's calling. Let me. I have to take that. I'm gonna have to sign up and take that.
Okay, go ahead. Well, that's the end of Kickstarter Corner. Do you want to do movies, John?
I just haven't. I tell a lie. I did watch one. Yes. Welcome to movies, and I watched The Hunt, which I've only just remembered, so I haven't got it up on the screen. And I'm positive I watched it before, but I couldn't figure it out because there was like a British version. Let me just go look. The Hunt. The Hunt. There it is. 2020 film. Yeah. It's about a group of elites who kidnap working class people to hunt them. They call them deplorables as well in one part of the film, and I thought that's interesting. But Yeah, it starts off. The most talked about movie of the year is one that no one's actually seen, The Hunt, and it says decide for yourself. It starred Hilary Swank. She was the main name in it that I recognised. And basically, people all over America who'd written, there's something that happened which it shows you near the end of the film in an office block. So it shows you why it started. Something had been said in a big company, and people started believing it, saying, "I fucking knew this." And so what they did was they drugged people, kidnapped them, and they flew them to an area, and then they woke up with ball gags in their mouths. There was a big box in the middle of a field, like a big container, and inside the container was loads of weapons. But then there was loads of explosives around, tripwires and shit like that. Which
hold on, how old is this movie?
It's only 2020. It is.
That's not Hilary Swank in the movie. That's Betty Gilpin, isn't it?
No, she's in as well.
Oh, Hilary Swank is the snob woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I seen that years ago. Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
And I laughed because I'm watching it and I'm thinking, I had that thing in my head where I'm thinking, I'm sure I've seen this or something very similar. There was a British version of it where it was like upper class people doing a similar sort of thing, which was only a couple of years ago. But this one, I'm it's like, had I seen it? But anyway, it was thoroughly enjoyable because I did laugh at the beginning where they sort of focused on one of the characters, but then that character was killed. Then they as that person was killed, they were already focusing on another character, or that character was killed. So I was like, so nobody's like beyond being killed here. And it basically just goes through all the fucking deaths, really enjoyable deaths and stuff, and the way it was all set up. It was a bit like that film from years ago, The Game, with Michael Douglas, where he was so rich that his brother paid for this ultimate thing where basically his life went to pieces, sort of thing, because they had so much money they could do that. But that was this. At the end of the day, it wasn't brilliant. You could tell it was CGI explosion, heads explode and shit like that. But it was funny. Obviously, there was pregnant pauses in the fights and stuff, and the way people were shot. But yeah, it was one of those things where it passed the fucking time, and I enjoyed it. But that's the only film I'd watched. The rest has just been TV, and that wasn't much apart from apart from Tulsa King's ending on that. Yeah, that I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it also annoyed me because you know what I mean. They had 20 baddies at the compound or the area, the house, and none of them managed to do anything. And I'm like, oh, but it didn't spoil the enjoyment, and I did enjoy the comeuppance. I thought, nice long pig, roasting that long pig, because apparently humans taste like pig, so that's why we nicknamed Long Pig from the Islanders. So yeah.
Well, I watched. Is that all you watched on TV?
Yeah, that was basically it, apart from the news.
Yeah, I finished watching the Special Forces World's Toughest Test.
Oh yeah,
the one with Cody Brown in it. And spoilers. Out of the 12 people or 16 people they had, only 2 of them made it to the end of the test. Oh, Rusty's calling. So let me see if I can add him here. I sent him a request to join. Yeah, so I watched the Special Forces with Cody Brown. And is he there? You there, Rusty?
Oh God, we're not going to have that all again, are we?
No, we're not going to have this again. Jesus Christ! All because Rusty leaves his computer on his floor for 2 months and doesn't have the time to set it up. 2 months, no time. I don't know how that happens. Anyway, yeah. So Special Forces, the 2 people that ended up winning, or not winning, but surviving to the end, were the 2 women. And they were the smallest contestants. I think one was like 5 foot, and one wasn't even near 5 foot. That won the thing. The men. It was really interesting. Do you know what murder ball is?
Yep.
Right. They had a murder ball segment, and the ones that end up getting injured the most were the NFL players. The ex-NFL players end up getting hurt the most.
Brilliant.
So that was pretty fun, and the women were savages in that. I mean, they were like, this one girl just like kicking the crap out of the guy just to grab the ball. It was unbelievable. So I'm thinking that maybe next time you come over to the US, we should do murder ball.
Yeah.
Me, you, Rossi, Lestat. Maybe fly over Dave and Pete. You know, do our own version of murder ball. Wouldn't that be fun?
Do they do an interrogation sequence?
Yes, at the end.
Yeah, that's
and
what passes, isn't it?
Yeah, that's well. There was a husband and wife team, and she ended up winning. She was an ex gymnast, I think she was, and she was stone cold the whole thing. I mean, she was like in the zone, but she spilled the beans that she was there with her husband. And see, the story was you're supposed to do get your story straight before you get captured, right? And so when they went to the husband and he was on a different team, they asked him, like, you know, is he there in his own and where's his wife at? He said, oh, my wife's back in the States. So she accidentally spilled the beans on him without him knowing it. And then you find out later that, you know, when they're interrogated, they bring the two of them together and said, well, you lied to me. You told me your wife was at home in the States, but here she is here. And he couldn't respond. He wasn't quick enough. And same with Cody Brown. The reason Cody failed is because he was a male chauvinist pig. He would never take orders from the women. And then he got very stubborn. When he started asking questions, he got stubborn and he clammed up. And that's what done him in. They said that the interrogation, the main guy that oversees the interrogation, they didn't show his face because he still does stuff like that. He said that he would have been done. He's not fit. He's gone. And so the two guys got taken out. So all you left then was the three women. And now the three women, they do the bury alive bit. Have you seen them do that?
No.
They bury it. Well, they buried them and they get them to lie down in mud, like these crates, lie down in the mud, and they put a cover over the top of them, so it's like you're in a coffin.
Yeah.
And it's only supposed to be for 10 minutes, but they kept on knocking on the coffin. The interrogator saying, "Are you with the military? Answer me yes or no." And if they answered yes, they lost. Right?
Yeah.
There's Rossi calling again. I can't answer it because it'll cut me off. So anyway, knocked him off. So anyway,
I'll put him to try and see if it'll come in.
Right. So they would bury the three of them like that, and then they were only supposed to be there for 10 minutes, but I'm sure it felt like an eternity to them. So they asked us. They knocked on one of the coffin lids and said, "Are you?" Well, not coffin lid. It's like a big board. "Are you in the military?" And she goes, "Yes, I'm in the military." All she had to do was hold out for like 5 minutes, and she would have made it. I'm sure if she saw that today, she looks back on this show and she saw that, she went, "Oh, motherfucker," because she had been through everything. This one, Paglia, I think her name is. She had been through. She was on like an internet influencer or something. But she had been through everything, and she survived everything, and she kept on going, even past her breaking point and everything else, just to fail at the last second like that. I'm sure she's pissed when she looks back on it. But the other two women were fantastic. One was the daughter of. She's one of the housewives that she ended up doing time in prison for fraud. Her and her husband for tax evasion. Her and her husband, but she was the daughter of the one woman. And she was there basically like her carer in the beginning, and even the guys are saying it, that the staff were saying like, "Oh, she's just here to care for her mother," and then the mother tapped out like in the second test that they had to do, so she ended up going through the whole thing on her own. And the two winners were totally deserved winners. I mean, the two survivors that passed totally deserved it. They were fantastic. But it was so interesting to see how when it came to the interrogation that the women were way better at it than the men.
Yeah. The thing with with anything where it's horrendous is, and you're being like trained, all in my head, all I used to just think, well, they can't kill you. It'll end. The course is only this long, so that's how I got out of it.
Yeah, but some of it is tough, like the claustrophobic parts and that kind of thing.
If you're claustrophobic, you're screwed. So, and that's just one of those things you don't know until it happens. You know what I mean?
Or you're afraid of heights. That was
Yeah.
another one. The height thing was a big thing for them as well, but it's pretty good. Rossi, you back now?
Yes. What does the squeaky chair give it away?
Well,
I think you copped on and decided to go back into the conversation instead of trying to start a new one.
Well, I did that request and he actually answered it, Mr. Ross.
Yeah, that's because for reasons unexplained, I had to redo the whole.
There's no reason to explain, Mr. Ross, because it's you.
Yeah. Yep. So
how's your dad? Is he okay?
Yes. The short answer is yes, and the longer answer I'll tell you when we're done.
Oh, fair. Okay. So what movies or TV show have you watched, Rossi?
Tulsa King and so I was watching an Indian movie called Kantara. Oh, you know what I tried to watch the other night was Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, and I fell asleep right in the middle of it, which is where all the animation is. I remember loving that movie when I was a kid, but now I was kind of like, oh wow, this is basically the Nazis get defeated by slapstick ghosts. So it was, I don't know. I was pretty tired and cranky, so maybe I'll start it again some other time. But I was watching this Indian movie called Kantara, Kantara, and it's I don't want to call it fantasy. I don't want to call it mythological because people actually do worship some of this stuff over there still. But it's not a Bollywood movie. It's from one of the many smaller industries. But apparently this is one of the highest grossing Indian movies ever. And holy shit, this is another one where it cost it's like the lunch catering budget for the MCU. They made a movie that's got epic battles and soldiers and a city. They recreated an ancient city, and they had this chase through the town like I've never seen before in a movie, and a big old fight with people flying all over the place like Popeye cartoons, and magical creatures and beautiful costumes and palace courtroom scenes. It is an epic, and it is a spectacle. It's also a prequel to a movie called Kantara, so if that sounds interesting, you want to follow up on it, which for you too, I doubt, but correct. Maybe our listener. Yeah. So it's and it's long too. How'd you get
the time to watch this? Do you actually watch these on a slightly faster speed?
No, this is after a long day of doing everything else. I try to watch a movie, which is why I end up falling asleep through half of them. So
how long is the movie?
It's close to 3 hours long. I think it's 2 hours and 45 minutes long.
Wow, you could have spent that time tidying up your room so you can put your computer on your counter and get it started.
No, I specifically needed to have my feet elevated because my knees were all fucked up from everything else I had done that day. So
walking.
Walking. From being on my feet 7 out of 8 hours I'm at work. So yes, it's when you have osteoporosis and arthritic feet, maybe
isn't that the female who was the leader's wife in fucking Argentina? Osteoporosis.
Yes.
I thank you.
That was good. So anyway, this isn't about me. This is about Kantara. So
we're changing your name. We're changing your name to Arthur.
Oh, Arthur what?
Arthur Ritus.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to say Arthur Rank.
That's only when he stinks.
That's cocky rhyming slang.
I'll tell you, I do not wish this on anybody else. It sucks. I always think I can. It's one of those things you think you can do X, Y, Z, and it's like, nope, I'm lucky to do the X. So anyway, Kantara is like 3 hours long. or 2 hours and 45 minutes, because Flint likes to be precise about things.
Oh, you're fine.
So anyway, actually there's two versions, and I think I saw the shorter version. I don't recall there being any musical numbers in the Bollywood sense, because it's not a Bollywood movie. But it's about this anyway. It's about this part of the jungle that you're never supposed to go into, because magical beings protect it, and then this evil kingdom wanted to get their spices. So so
he spent 3 hours watching that, John.
I know. I fucking love him for it.
It was, dude. The people who live in the jungle, the jungle people stuff was like it was like watching a Tarzan movie with magical creatures. It was awesome.
There you go.
The main guy, except the main guy didn't. The main guy had like this huge beard and this long hair and looked more like a lumberjack, or I'm trying to think of somebody who, you know, the way Jack Black looks now.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like that, only with black hair instead of graying. But that guy was totally cool, and he could do all these leaps and swings, and it was, man, it was. I just had a great, and this is the other thing. I don't know if they used AI, but the special effects were so good for a movie that cost, I think, less than an episode of one of the Marvel TV shows, something that has a lot of special effects and action. This 3-hour movie was better than a 45-minute TV show as far as special effects, and they had a ton of them, and huge stunts and everything, and it moved super fast. The editing was like, it was actually hard to follow in some places, because the editing it wasn't choppy, but it was just really fast. So yeah, this movie did not fuck around. So I could see why, especially, you know, if this is your part of the country, and again, if they're using AI to do some of the ancient city scenes and the forest and some of the other things, they're using it they're putting it to very good use. And the rest of the world is going to make Hollywood look really bad. And again, I didn't know anything about that culture. I didn't know anything about their legends. I didn't know anything about anything, but I was able to follow it. And all the characters were, the villains were awesome. The heroes were cool and awesome. I enjoyed that character as much as I enjoyed Conan or Tarzan or Slane or any character like that I've heard of before. So yeah, maybe not for you guys, but if you like that kind of adventure stuff, I would highly recommend it. Oh, anyway, there's another movie called Kantara this is actually a prequel to that Kantara, telling why that forest is so magical. And you don't have to really know anything about it except for the opening scene. You don't have to know anything about it. Just roll with it, and it's its own thing. So
where can you watch that, Rossi? Is that on Tubi or
I believe it's
Amazon
on
Prime?
Amazon. I believe it's on Amazon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, and you can, and the subtitles are good. I mean, but they talk fast.
Right. You guys want to do the prog?
Let's rock.
Pew, pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble, Grub.
Okay, Prog 2459. We have a cover by Cliff Robinson of the Welsh Dragon, whatever his name is, Red Dragon or whatever, with his Mickey Mouse. Dragon. Yeah, with his Mickey Mouse hat on, Mouseketeer's hat. What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh fuck me! I haven't done a cup of tea for Carol, and she's just got back.
Well, the artist can do no wrong. He's probably the consistently best cover artist they've got.
Yeah, that's why they pay him. I bet she's not cheap either.
Yeah, I mean, we do love us some Alex Ronald too, but like this guy's done more covers, and he's still
Well,
like
he's the go-to guy now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the go-to guy. And like going back to Alex Ronald, that Barsoom Daegis Thoris knockoff cover, that's by far the best part of the whole thing. So, but yeah, this one, you would never know that the story is dragged out and boring by this cover.
Yeah, by the cover, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of the cover, John? That Kaz singing? I think that's Kaz singing. We'll ask him about the cover when he comes in. Well, he's doing a Dread thing as well. I don't know if you read that Dread story in the magazine. I don't think anybody reads the magazine anymore.
No, from what I understand, I obtained a copy to flip through, and because I don't have to read it for the podcast, there's nothing there that like if I enjoyed reading things digitally, which I don't, if I was still getting the paper, I'm putting my thoughts together. The magazine costs too much in America for me to get it anymore for the amount of enjoyment I get out of it. If it was like half that price, I'd still get it and I'd still check out the stories that look interesting. But the amount of pages to the amount of pages I care about, the ratio is not good. And this one, it looks like another Garth Ennis World War II story shoehorned into a Judge Dredd story. You know, I would get it for the Michael Carroll Dreadnoughts thing. I did enjoy that, but I just can't. You know, if I don't have to read it for the Prog, for the podcast, I'm just kind of too dialed out.
What's that you're not reading for the Prog?
Oh, the magazine. The
magazine.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of that cover, John?
I was just saying, I had a little look through when it was on the shelf because the new one was there when I picked up the Prog, and I'm just like, well, yeah, like you said, Rossi, I'd hear the back end of it. Certain things like Dreadnoughts and whatever the other things, a few bits and bobs like that. I think, oh, I'm intrigued by them, but again, they lost me, and I'm a believer in if you lose somebody, you never go back because they treat you like shit. You know what I mean? Like gas companies and water companies. Well, you can't do anything in the water companies in the country, but gas, electricity. Once we were allowed to have anybody we liked, I just thought you had the chance to make the prices lower because you had the monopoly. You didn't. You never get me back. Even if you paid me, I'd rather cut off my nose to spite my face to go back to yours. But yeah, it saddens me because I just think you learned too late. You saw you obviously saw the sales are dropping off, and then you tried to rectify it, but you rectified it wrongly. Anyway,
well,
what do you
I'm
think of
looking
that
at
cover,
what
John?
the cover is I like it, but it's very generic. You know what I mean? It reminds me of the Fist of the North Star. Is that what not Fist of the North Star? Who's that bloody one from that Marvel TV show where you have the fists?
Oh, Iron Fist?
Yeah, that sort of stance where you push your fist.
Yeah.
That's the generic part of it. But I love the colouring. I love the fire. I do like the way the dragon's entwined with the 2000 AD, but it's still, the problem is, even though I like it, it kills the logo. You know what I mean? Because you can't see it. But yeah, I like the design weight and all that. And I like the little sort of sneer. Oh my God. Now I'm seeing Mickey Mouse ears on the helmet.
That's what I said.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Brilliant.
So before you get into the Prog
proper,
real fast overview. So the Dread story is Garth Ennis writing another World War II story, shoehorned into a Mega City 1 story, time travel stuff. The second one is Megalopolis, which book 2, which it's Dave Taylor's probably his last work. It's beautiful, but who cares? I barely remember the first book, and I'm not going to go back and certainly not going to buy it, and I'm not going to go back and reread it. There's another like freaking timeline overview of shit that they've published.
Cheap
there's an article about the big ass sword guy, which based on the preview we got in the Prog, I do not care.
Fucking bollocks.
Armitage is page after fucking page of old people sitting around and talking in a cafe. So script by Quentin Tarantino, apparently. The Anderson story that's the one I would probably read. And Rock the God, which I never got in its original form, so I probably would read it out of curiosity. And that's it. That's so it's a 2-story Prog for me, or 2-story magazine, which costs more than the Prog now. So there you go.
All right, Judge Dredd and To the Sea Return, Part 10, Rob Williams, Henry Flint, Danny Parkhouse.
Oh, fucking hell. Better get that page up. Oh, fuck me. See, all these things happening at the same time. Right, here we go. Right. Yes. Tan saves the day when he ignites the fuel and the beast burns instead of submerging itself from whence it arose. And all the worms decide to stay on board and burn to a crisp. Sadly for him, he has life-threatening 3rd-degree burns covering his body. I presume they're on his left arm and bonds, although most of his hair looks okay. Anderson, meanwhile, is okay as well, and Dredd pukes up all the worms that were on and in him, and he looks like he's the dead man again. And finally, Justice Department rescues them all, and once Joe and Cassandra see the Chief Judge, which seems rather quickly for Dredd, looks completely okay now. But anyway, they evacuate the sector, ward it off from the city, and burn it. And Dredd says that the Black Atlantic Wall should be bigger now, just like the Trump days from history. So that's what I got.
This is absolutely terrible ending.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Just absolutely unbelievably bad.
Yeah, I've never.
You and I are doing the Predator Bro handshake over that review. Yes, go on. The more you say, the less I have to.
Well, the artwork is really good, but Dredd's just so he's just written so bad.
He's a secondary character in his own fucking strip again.
Enjoy the New World, Carver, punk, and he spits. Like, what the hell?
Right. I don't recall him ever spitting on anybody. It's never that personal. So here's
he may just been spitting out. He may just been spitting out the worms, but it's written really bad. It's just such a bad ending as well. All this build up and it's over. Like, it's nothing.
It's a Rob Williams ending. He writes this is the equivalent of falling into a sinkhole at the end. That one story where like build up, and then they all fall into a sinkhole. That's this again. And the whole thing is, it's an allegory. So I went along for the ride. I was like, well, these usually fall to shit by part 3, and it's like it got all the way up to part. What is this one? 9, 10?
10.
Okay, so part 9, I was still kind of like, I don't see how this is going to wrap up in a satisfying way if you're going all the way up to part 9 of 10. But let's see. And then you get this. So a guy fires a single shot, which pretty much solves all the problems. And then there's this rush to the end for the wrap up, and that's it. Doesn't matter. What it is the whole thing is an excuse to have this allegory that's done in 2 pages about Captain Cook going to Tasmania to show that the writer's on the right side of history by siding with the indigenous people, and this thing bringing the worm disease is bringing the worms to Mega City 1. So how do you like it? Ha ha ha. And they have a Judge Dreddish type of ending with the fire and the explosions and all that, but it's like a complete misunderstanding of that situation. Well, I mean, I get it. People bringing their diseases to other places is bad, but that's.
You mean like the 30 million illegal immigrants that crossed over into the United States during Joe Biden's tenure?
You see, there's no nuance.
That they weren't even checked for COVID shots.
Right. Yeah. Right. So it's like the whole but whataboutishness of trying to make this shoehorn this allegory into fit is dumb, and the way it was done is dumb. The storytelling is dumb. It's got some cool images and it had some really great artwork throughout, but it's serving
Henry
this
Flint is
dumb
so
story.
wasted, isn't he? Yeah, I agree. Henry
Yeah,
Flint is so wasted.
yeah. I
Oh,
mean, but he's done this like I don't know what time. I don't know if I didn't notice it when he was doing the Enchilada Daedalus Enceladus story or whatever. I don't when they were doing like all that white.
enchiladas.
Yeah, I Enchiladas storyline. I don't remember if that was if he was doing that back then, and it just took me off guard and I didn't notice. But it's like this consistent thing, you know. It's like, well, I mean, he would shoehorn that stupid black horse thing in, which was like, okay, I get it. You've been to film class, and
And that actually killed a few of the big fans. That did. They kept mentioning that over and over again in the old 2000 fandom. They would
oh,
all,
really?
Yeah, the black horse was like, what the fuck did a black horse come from, and what's it got to do anything?
Yeah, it's like you've got this story. You've got a story that Wagner writes pretty. Everything's pretty. You take it pretty literally. The storytelling's pretty literal storytelling. You know, there's, unless somebody takes drugs and starts hallucinating, what's happening? What you see is what's happening. And then he brings in the black horse thing, and it's like, okay, so you're bringing symbolism into this. This is your thing as a dread writer. This is how you make your mark. I get it, but it stands out like a sore thumb and comes off as pretentious as hell, in my opinion. And then there's this. It's like, okay, we're going to do this 10-part allegory about Captain Cook.
But even the way
Tasmania.
it's written, even the way it's written is so bad. I mean, what page is it? Page 1, the penultimate page, top right-hand panel. Help did indeed come. It's like, where do you fucking Charles Dickens?
Are you David Attenborough?
Yeah.
Help did indeed come, but far too late for the 11,000 perps who had been incarcerated on the barge.
Yeah, it's
like
terrible.
What the fuck? Yeah, and Dredd doesn't act like Dredd. I mean, it's like, yes, he's an asshole, but he was an asshole you could respect when Wagner wrote him. When everybody wrote, even people like
I love
Alan
this
Grant.
as well. Even the two panels beforehand, Tan still alive. Yeah, not for sure how long though. He's in a lot of pain. Ah, fuck him.
Yeah, he's the guy who saved the day. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him.
You were so busy being sidelined, Dredd, that this guy took one shot and saved the day.
And he's still alive, but fuck him. We're just gonna leave him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole thing's like, but the other thing is like, we're gonna just burn down a big chunk of Mega City 1 to get all the worms, because fuck them too.
Yeah, they went into the sea, did they, where they came from, and just go, oh, it's burning up there, but we'll stay down here.
And all this big whenever, I know this happened with Wagner, but at least he would kind of reference things back every once in a while. I think the only story that Rob Williams references back to is that the one with the tunnel, the tunnel collapses or whatever. They're all so dumb that I can't even be bothered to remember the details. But I mean, basically, we've got that city that sank in the ocean. Remember, from the big trifecta storyline, and then we have that apocalypse thing. There was like that whole apocalypse story where they brought out introduced 5 characters and then killed them all in the next installment, with easily. And now there's this where it's like, yeah, we're going to burn off a chunk of Mega City 1 to kill the worms, but when we talk about it again, maybe in passing, it's just, I've gone from this has gone from my favorite strip to the one that I would recommend to everybody, and you got to read this and you got to check it out. And it's like, I wouldn't want anybody to read these Rob Williams stories as their first ever, because they would never like Dredd again. They're god awful.
What did you think, John?
Well,
and they're written like they hate us. I mean, they're written with such contempt and such film school snobbery and arrogance that it doesn't feel like he doesn't know what he's doing. It feels like he knows exactly like what he's doing, and in trying to finger quotes challenge us, he's just writing shit that's then not a pleasure to read.
Oh,
well, what did you think, John?
I was laughing at it because I just thought, so this massive creature that's bigger than the city, because if you look at it against the Black Atlantic Wall, all the guns are firing, all the bits, worms and stuff are dropping and all that, right? And then the answer to this, after all of these issues, is fire. We're going to fire. Well, like I said in my joke at the beginning, all it had to do was go back under the water and swim away. That fire wouldn't have done anything to it. So it's like, it's a cop-out ending for me because it's just so rubbish. Dredd puking up the worms. The worms are all over his face as well. So how did they all come off him? You know, it's like, yet again, the worms could control everybody else. But, oh, Dredd, no. And I'm like, he's not superhuman. He's just a very sort of alpha male specimen of a human. So how can he just puke everything out where other things, that it can't be done like that? You know what I mean? Everybody else fails unless they take drugs and stuff. And then with Tan, he's got third-degree burns, but yet his uniform isn't burnt off him. You know, his face looks relatively okay. His hair doesn't look as though it's burnt. If he was third-degree burns and it was all over him, surely a lot more of his hair would be burnt off his head. It's just things like that. You know what I mean? But to me, the worst thing is the cop-out ending of just burn it all and then seal off another bit. It's like, you look at the Apocalypse War, you look at the Dark Judges, you look at the things where even Grice, when he came back with all the Dark Judges and all that, the destruction they were doing, there was a sort of like a build-up to it, and then as you watch it all unfold, you're like, bloody hell, look at that here, and that part of the city is fighting this, that. All you're getting here is a tiny little bit saying, right, we've had to evacuate this, we've got to check the people, and that's it, it's done. And I'm like, so that was it. After this 10-issue build-up, you get this ending. It just didn't do it for me.
Why bother? Why bother sending them out in the first place? Just wait till the thing hits the wall and then just burn it. There doesn't need to be 10 parts.
Yeah, fire the old napalm at it, and you were just laughing. You know, surely they had stuff on the walls that could do napalm or whatever the equivalent is in Dredd's world. You know what I mean? It was just too easy for all this. Oh, look how scary all this is. The big bad's coming. Yeah, no, not for me.
It's almost like the joke. It's like almost all these Rob Williams stories go on and on and on, and then the joke is that this quick Band-Aid remedy kicks in the last installment, and I think it's meant to be funny, but it's not clever. It's not funny, and it just, you know, there might have been some good writing and some real drama in it, but then you get to this ending that sours the whole thing, and like all I can see is like the next Rob Williams story is going to be, they said, oh, he's going to come back with Alec Worley. At least Alec Worley doesn't let him get away with some of that shit, but it's still.
You mean Arthur Wyeth?
Alec Worley does Anderson when he's allowed to.
Oh well, I think it said Alec Worley. They're gonna. They threatened us with another Rob Williams story.
Well,
Arthur Wyeth is the one that usually writes with Rob Williams.
Yeah. Did you? Now I mentioned the other week.
Arthur, you're right. Yeah. Arthur Wyeth. Okay.
Yeah. So. I mentioned the other week that the left sleeves of many of the characters were all sort of like missing, and their elbow pads and gloves. And I'm sure Tam was one of them, but now he's got it all back together. So
he heals quickly.
Yeah. But anyway, that's
his uniform heals quickly.
Mm-hmm. And the thing, do you know the most terrifying thing about this prog for me was? Right,
but
there was no advertisements in it. We had extended pages for strips, and this was the standard we got.
Yeah, that was. I mean,
okay.
The artwork was 10 out of 10, but Jesus Christ, that story is like barely a 3.
Red Dragon Part 9. Rob Williams. Oh, here we go again. Steve Yell, Patrick Goddard, Dylan Teague, and Simon Boland.
Zenith is born, but Shadwell isn't there for the celebrations. So St. John finds him on a train and tells him that he can't do it all by himself. But Shadwell isn't interested. Meanwhile, the burning pig is chasing Martin and Dee when an innocent bloke stops and climbs out of his truck. So he burns him to death instead and then continues with the problem in hand, i.e. Martin and Dee. He tells them that there's no point running. Sorry, he tells them that no point running, Lurga, which is the Welsh word for England. Then we find out that he was partly responsible for burning down the holiday cottages bought by the English. This is a real thing, Mr. Ross. Then Martin figures it out. When Shadwell came back home, he was pissed, slept around, and shagged loads of women, and they had super babies. Just then, the burning woman appears, who we saw the other week, but I can't remember her name, and she asks Di what he's done with their boy, Di being the burning pig. And just to emphasise, Mr. Ross, the Welsh cottages were bought by English people, and a little group of Welsh people went around and burnt them all. So it's strange, isn't it? 2 stories from Rob, and he's not liking this country, is he?
So we're going through all this boring shit because he has a point to make about that he's on the right side of history.
Well, who knows? They did
Well, no, I think he's watching YouTube videos. Did you ever see that YouTube video of the 2 boxers in the ring, and one boxer's getting the head beat off him, so his mother comes into the ring and starts hitting him with the handbag?
Yes, I've seen that. Yes,
that's what the end of this reminds me of. Here comes the mother now to hit him with the handbag.
Yeah. Oh dear.
It's terrible.
So the whole thing, there's kind of like this Hills Have Eyes sort of story running parallel to the superhero shit, which is mostly just characters standing around talking. And then in the last couple of installments, there's an uptick in stuff happening, and it's the big reveal is these are all like Shagwell's kids grown up, and they all have his powers.
Shagwell.
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
So, but that seems to be the point, because this is like the second to last installment. There's, you can obviously there will be plenty of pages of characters standing around talking to wrap things up, and leave it wide open for the sequel. Because we'll get to it when we get there, but like this cannot possibly be a one and done. This doesn't have enough pages for there to be a
Red
trade,
Dragon
so
book 10.
There has to be at least 3 or 4 of these for there to be a trade. So even if they run something, it doesn't work. People don't like it. Nobody cares. We're committed to doing 3 of these because that's how we're going to get our trade. So that's the 2000 AD math of the 21st century.
All right, Void Runners Book 2, Part 10, David Heim, Boo Cook, Andy Parkhouse.
All right, so we find out that the old guy from the Shidaku or Shikari ship has been telling the story to his nurse, and she can't not leave without she can't leave her shift without finding out what happened. So he tells her the story about how it takes about a page for Alice to convince 2 pages for Alice to convince the crew. Alice is the name of the.
Who the fuck is Alice?
Well done.
Alice is the name of the bearded character with the pointy ears.
It's part of a song, that, Mr. Ross.
Oh, I see. It's like you guys have a whole different music thing. All right, so whoever the hell Alice is convinces the crew that they're going to go face the evil empire at its homeworld, but they got enough drugs on the ship that it'll be cool. So there's a really cool shot of the ship taking off from this world. And then there's like a wrap up where the people who were oppressed are now the ones on top, and they're also doing a pretty bad job of it. And then the people who had been on top are mining the perfidium. And then there's a big old statue for Alice and the first god person, which Alice is holding a glowing globe that's strategically placed over the first god person's hoo-ha, because that's the kind of comic 2000 AD is now. Thank God for the regened issues. And then we cut back to the hospital room where the old guy says, and then they went off and to fight the Empire. And that's a story for another time. End of book 2. That was another 50 pages. So we got to get another book 3 at least to get the trade. So that's what we get next year.
Well, I don't care for it. What did you think, John?
I liked it. It was one of my hated endings where it's a bit of a cop out. You know what I mean? That's but saying that, the artwork is beautiful. I mean, the how he does the difference between the youth and the age. And I remember you telling me less lines on the youth, more lines on the age. Obviously, it's just lovely. The characters he creates are bonkers. The spaceship taking off, the design work, and that's lovely. It's like a seashell, like a squiddy type seashell thing. Then you turn the page over, you got the babies, and like I said, the art, I just love it. I love the colouring. He's got his very there's about half a dozen 2000 artists who've got their own palette, and as soon as you see the colours, you know.
Yeah, you know it's Boo.
Yeah, same with what's his name? Fuck me. Colin McNeil, people like that, instantly, without seeing the art. If you just put a splurge of colours on the page, I'd go, that's Boo Cook's stuff. And with the story, I love the turnaround. So the enslaved are basically the powerful are now the enslaved. Very funny. And I'm looking forward to the next book. And as I always like to say, if you want to read the next part, then the actual strip has done its work correctly. And that's what I want to see if we're going to have major conflict stuff coming. So I'm looking forward to quite a lot.
You don't care about it, Rossi, so we'll move on, will we?
Yeah, I was like, it grew on me. I would rather see this creative team do something else, but since we're obviously not going to get that, it's fine.
All right, Frost Sun Part 10, Shaco, Ian Edgerton, I.J. Colbert, Simon Boland.
Oh, how I wish. Yeah, so the on the hind leg part of this model universe, the two not lesbians land and talk for a little bit, and then a quirky talking polar bear, mainstay of British science fiction and fantasy, from the Philip Pullman books to Doctor Who to whatever. Anyway, a talking polar bear with a robot arm shows up and then leads them to this fundraiser, I guess, recruiting thing for the rebellion. So that's a page of walking and talking, and then they go to the party and people stand around and talk. Then they stand around and talk some more because Ren doesn't want to be the leader of no rebellion. And then this guy in a nice uniform shows up and introduces himself as Marshal Alexander de Kip and basically welcomes her to the rebellion. So that's another page of standing around and talking.
Yeah, not my cup of tea. What do you think, John? Although I do like the artwork.
Yeah, not my thing, but the artwork's not my style, but I do like looking at it to see how he does things. For instance, the rope, the arm on the on Shaco, the sort of general, was it Marshal? Yeah, Marshal Alexander de Kip at the end. I'm thinking to myself, well, you put that design work on his chest. You did that. Enjoy doing it in every single image. That's the sort of thing I get out of this. You know what I mean? So where it's very simple in certain panels, he also puts very difficult stuff in for himself. So story-wise, it's not really my thing. Again, this is, to me, I always believe this is the one strip which is the big graphic novel. And I know they brought out a couple already of the previous stuff in graphic novels, but I just think this would suit one of those proper, say, 500-page ones. You know what I mean? Where you pick one up, it's the whole thing from start to finish. But again, it's not really my sort of tale, but I can see its merit.
Did you like it, Rossi?
I respect it more than I respect what they're trying to do and what it's trying to be more than I like it. The art's good. There's nothing, I really don't dislike the artwork. I think it's parts of it are pretty imaginative, and for a strip that's mostly characters standing around talking, the storytelling and changing the angles and the way the characters act is very well done. It's trying to be sort of a light, cozy fantasy, I think, at this point, and that's not for me. If I wanted to read this sort of thing, I'd read it elsewhere. I think it was an interesting attempt back in the day to try something a little off-brand for 2000 AD, and when it went away, it was kind of a relief. It's like, thank you, but now it's like, oh no, now you get twice as much. So yeah, it's not for me, basically.
Talking about not for me, here's Rogue Trooper Ghost Patrol Part 10. Alex de Campi, Neil Edwards, Matt Soff, and the cosplay cowboy Dim Dumbbell.
Rogue and his reprobates are spying on Bland and Brass's base, spotting a Black Mare tank, probably from the upcoming film. Before they can do anything, loads of white balls, just like from the prisoner, appear, but a lot smaller. They're captured by them as no one can be bothered to keep watch, and taken down to the aforementioned duo. They then added to a game where blokes in giant armored suits hunt them down. Rogue tells the other three to run off to the vehicle, and he'll draw the fire of the oncoming brutes. Oh, God. Before long, after some of these goons are boringly killed, Brass has Rogue banged to rights, but amazingly, one of his team turns up in a big tank and saves the day. Kip takes the tank to Checkpoint Zulu while Rogue, Jock, and Nygaard head off to the Scum Sea. And Brass and Bland swear that they'll get Rogue, but sadly and horrendously, that's another story.
Do you like how the Rogue's able to use the binoculars to see through walls?
It's amazing, isn't it?
That's incredible. And also that Brass and Bland don't recognize that Rogue is unique because he doesn't have a helmet on that can breathe the gas, doesn't have a gas mask on, so he must be unique. But they decide to use him in a hunting exercise anyways, instead of saying, "Oh, he's a valuable asset." Do you like how stupid the machine he's in at the end has a bowler hat?
Yep.
That bowler hat thing, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, and well, it's good to see Anal get killed as well. 1, 2, 3, page 4. Anal gets shot, page 5.
We know from the 3 screenshots we've seen from the Rogue Trooper movie that they're going to be in it. So it's kind of like, hey, Alex de Campi, do you think since you're buddies with the director, you could like put those characters in? We'll get a little taste of what we can expect from the movie.
Aprons, yeah, but the thing is, the aprons they're wearing make Rogue look as if he's a short cook in the military. He's gonna, he's like a chef.
Well, I mean, look at what
so
happened
bad.
when Steven Seagal was a chef and Under Siege, so
it's so bad. I mean, the whole thing is so bad.
I don't know enough about the actors. What actors are playing Brass and Bland in the movie?
Matt Berry and somebody else.
Are these drawn to look like them?
No.
Matt Berry's got a massive beard.
Oh, okay.
And he's fat-faced.
Right. You see, the thing with this, on the ending of this, so, I've got to say, at one stage, in all that fighting stuff, and then people were getting shot, and I'm just like, well, hang on, where did he appear? Where did that one appear? There was nothing about it, sort of thing. And then you get to the end where he has Rogue by the neck, and she says, basically, let go of him, you bitch, that sort of shite. I'm thinking, once he put Rogue down, he sort of pats him on the head by the looks of it. Then, as soon as Rogue's across to her, she should just blast into pieces. It's this sort of thing. They're bad because they're trading on war and stuff like that. It's like retconning stuff to make, this is what we're preparing for. Well, I'm sorry, You need a writer who can actually write decently to retcon anything, but you shouldn't be retconning Rogue, because basically everything we've got from Rogue was perfect to begin with. All the character, the reason it happened, the traitor general, the way the lads are being put into their chips, everything. It was so well rounded by the creators at the time. This stuff is just like well, I'll tell you what it's like. It's like you get.
It makes it less.
Yeah, I was going to say, you get the original artwork, and you might as well pull your pants down and shit all over it, because that's what I feel with the writing.
Yeah,
Wow.
they made the character less than what he was.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rossi?
Pretty much the same. It's it doesn't add anything new to it. The artwork's 10. To me, the artwork's 10 out of 10, except for the bowler on the thing, but that might have been in the script. And it's just a time waste, another Rogue Trooper time waster to keep the people remembering the character until the movie comes out. And it's like these characters, it's like you can't kill these characters because they're going to be in the movie. So it's just, I don't know. This as the Dread story got worse with as it's been going along, I can definitively say that this issue was probably one of the worst progs I've ever read.
Yeah,
in
I'll
the
go
history, with that. And it's absolutely not the artist's fault. Every artist had a unique voice and a unique style and a unique way of telling stories, and it's just the concepts of a lot of these stories and the stories being told. There's no sense of urgency to it, because you know that you have as many pages as you need, because you're going to get like another trade after trade. The way the Red Dragon's written, it's like instead of 5 pages in the cliffhanger, it's like you get 10 installments and then a cliffhanger. You know, the little cliffhangers at the end of each installment was just kind of like, it was just a stopping point. It wasn't like, oh my God, what happens next? You know, this slow pacing, slow burn, nobody cares. Characters that haven't been in the prog for decades for a reason. Allegories for bullshit history things that they want to be seen on the right side of history for. I get it. I get that it was wrong. I get history, fucked up things happened. People all around the world did fucked up things to people all around the world, and we don't tell any of those stories, but I get it. So I've already said this before, but we're creeping up on the Christmas issue. I really can't stand reading the prog anymore. I don't like what it represents. I don't like the stories being told. I don't like the way they're being told. I don't like you read interviews with some of the creators. I don't like them. I don't like Alex DeCampi being in it. And it's like they just can't give her enough work for. The only thing I'll say in her defense is when she's not writing Full Tilt Boogie, she writes closer to an old school like she's such an outsider that she only knows the 2000 AD stories from the 80s and 90s when they were still like goofy, dumb action stories. And she's trying to emulate that. So good for her, I guess. But I don't like the attitude. You can just feel the attitude from editorial about like it. None of this matters because we're going to get a trade out of it. Like the weekly doesn't matter at all to them. And again, this isn't a fact. This is just the vibe I get from reading it. So
what do you think, John?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, like I've mentioned a few times, I used to get the prog. I would wake up early deliberately to go down to the comic shop, get the prog, read Dread in the shop, read the rest at home, chat with Graham for hours in the shop. You know what I mean? Get home, have tea, finish it all off. Loved it. Those days are long gone. I think the longest I've waited to actually physically buy the prog is till Saturday now. So Wednesday I would get it. Saturday, because I just can't be bothered. I will not break my sleep for it. Unless I finish late that day, then I'll pop in and see if it's on the shelves. But I can't even be bothered doing that, so I'll probably wait till the Thursday. Now, it saddens me that it's in this state. Now, also, one of the weird things is, isn't it strange how there's hardly any letters pages throughout the year? I can't remember the last letters page we had.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and the next one we'll get at Christmas, and that'll be all. That's normally got one person who sends a picture in of something that they've done. But I feel as though they're keeping letters back if there is any letters. But that just shows you because a thriving letters page is like the slow version of the internet, showing us what people think. But if nobody can be bothered writing in at all, but they're quite happy to write into the Facebook pages and whatever other places, it's very interesting. It tells you a lot that most of the old guard just can't be bothered. Yeah, I mean, how long does it take to write a couple of lines? Because that's what they all seem to be nowadays. There's no like massive big tale, unless it's the classic. My mother should be given a fucking thrill.
Remember that time my nan would get me 2000AD and give me some Spangles.
Yeah, we'd go without Sunday dinner to have the fucking Prog because we were so poor, all that sort of shite. But I just, to me, I feel as though certain people who own the thing and are high up in it are desperate for this movie to succeed. They were desperate for the Dread film to succeed, but that was nothing to do with the film itself. That was to do with all the promotion stuff. I mean, fuck me. Me and Dave Court went to London to see if they'd like us to be dressed up as judges for like a premiere, and there wasn't a premiere, but we still went, and the Empire Theatre were fucking loved it. You know what I mean? The manageress came out and she was like, "Oh, thanks for this, blah blah blah," and all that. We couldn't get enough love, and I just think that's fans doing this stuff. Not you. You have no ideas how to promote it. It's like this to me, I feel as though this is the last fucking fling, this fucking Road Trooper film. And if that doesn't work, well, let's say the penultimate fling. If that doesn't work, the celebrations of the 50th, and I don't even feel as I want to go to that. That's if they'd let me nowadays, because I'm like persona non grata. But I just think I'd rather not go. I'd rather do something else. You know what I mean? I'd miss all the lads and the lasses who were fans.
They'll only run out of beer, John.
Yeah, well, exactly. There's another fucking joke, isn't there? You go to a hotel with all these people and it runs out of beer, not one night, but both nights of the convention. you didn't even
Don't
say.
they know there's English people afoot?
Well, the thing is, whoever was like in charge of that event, after that first night, and then they heard all the stories about running out of beer, they should have went to the hotel, get a fucking shitload of beer in, because last night was not acceptable. You know what I mean? It's things like that. It's things that you shouldn't have to be told because you're in the industry. You know what I mean? I'm sure that anything to do with your shop, you have quite a good knowledge of what will sell. Like you've mentioned the Dogman and all that sort of stuff. So you keep your ear to the ground, hopefully to get a trend. But when you get the 2000AD stuff and you say, well, yeah, we send it all back mostly, that tells you a lot.
Well, we will run over to Costco and get Dogman books if they failed to get them to us on the opening day, or if we run out or whatever. Yeah, I mean, we'll do whatever it takes.
But look at that signing we went to, the Southern Contingent up in Camden. Nothing to do with the lads who were there for the signing themselves, the creators. But I'm sorry, I will never go to a signing at that shop again after that. You know what I mean? It's not a case of it costs a lot to get there, but it's time, effort, not being with the family, a bit of money. I see my mates and all that, have a good laugh, but we're all up there to help Simon Davis, and I can't remember who the creator was now, to do that. And then the shop haven't got any in, but they had some in at the other one, and they should have went, right, you fuckers down at that shop, send 90% of your copies up here now. We've got a load of people. But they didn't even do that. So the attitude is, would they have done the same, say there was a big name there and the stuff didn't come in? would they have went, we won't bother getting anything in. We won't bother contacting our other big shop. We'll just let everybody fucking get pissed off in the queue. You know, if say there was a Brian Bolland there or Simon Bisley or something like that, would they have done the same? No, they fucking wouldn't have.
No.
But it annoys me. It's just like they know what needs to be done, but they don't want to do it. And if it costs money, well, isn't the whole idea of you put out some money to get like tenfold back or whatever? But if you don't think if you don't think you're going to get tenfold back, that says more about your product than about yous.
Well, I mean, you take the loss the one time, hopefully they'll come back 10 more times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be a loss. It'd just be less than what you might have thought you were going to make. But yeah, but going back to the Prog itself, it's just, and this is nothing against Mulcher and his podcast show. And like I said, I don't listen to it, but all the times I've listened to him, he's been perfectly fine. It's just the subject matter. If he had like, and to be fair, even when the old version of his podcast where he would interview the creators, it was because it's basically the same people time and time again. They basically say the same things over and over again. I mean, we do too, but you know, that's part of the joke.
We don't get paid by our bosses to do that.
Right. And the guys who write and draw the thing, they don't necessarily have to be, you know, sparkling personalities or great storytellers.
A good interviewer can get everything out of a guest, unless the guest is absolutely fucking horrendous.
Well, I think the peak Mulcher was when he talked to John Wagner. I mean, even though the sound was terrible, that was a great.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, we've been fans for how long, and it's like that was just full of stuff that I didn't even know and hadn't heard before. So it's not him. He's a good enough interviewer, and Andrew Sawyer was telling me about the article he wrote for the Jock book. Even though he can be a little pretentious at times, he is smart, and he does his histories and overviews and analysis of some of the 2000AD stuff. It's at worst it's solid. At best he's very good. So it's not all of those things. It's just that there's no excitement, there's no urgency. It's just running on fumes right now. And again, part of it too is like who would you bring in to write Dread and make it different enough but not completely alien? How would you even do such a thing? Like that's going to be a weekend retreat where they have to go away,
which they won't pay for.
Right. So that's what I mean. So it's like you have to go away, lock yourselves in a hotel room with whatever creators you have left, and sit down, see if there's anybody at Thought Bubble who showed any potential whatsoever. But I mean, who would, in this day of Kickstarter and owning your rights and people selling things to streaming and all that, who would want to do their best work for something that's going to be 50 years old, had 2 failed movies, working on a third? Failed video. I don't know if the video game was considered a success, but they never followed up on Dread versus Death or the other one, or the Rogue Trooper. You know, they did the Rogue Trooper Redux. Was there a sequel to it? No. Does that tell me it was a huge hit? Not really. No. Maybe it was. I don't know.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. So, and you could see why. I mean, it's a shirtless blue guy with a gun, and people come up with like crazy ideas for video games, and just I can see why kids are totally into it. It's just not for me. It's too frenetic, and I don't like something that's just programmed in, and that's all you can do with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. So what was your favorite story after all that?
Mine's going to be Void Runners. Although I did like the art and everything else, Void Runners just entertains me. And as I've said, all the other stuff, it's the story that I get to the end of and I go, I'd like this to be in the next week as well, please.
What about you, Rossi?
Yeah. I'm with John on Void Runners, I guess.
Right, for me, it's going to be Dread, just for Henry Flint's artwork. Not for the story, obviously, but just for Henry Flint's artwork.
Yeah.
All right. What a bummer. Yeah, this Prog is, I agree with Rossi, this Prog is probably one of the worst ones I've read in a long time. God, there's nothing redeemable about it, except the artwork. Okay, so what do you want to say before we hit the road? Any last words?
Well, isn't it strange how the old chickens are coming home to roost for all these political people, eh? That's what I said. They thought it would be hidden forever, but it's all coming home. And in the next couple of years, I'm going to be sat in my front room, laughing my head off. Not at the TV, because that won't show the news, but at the fucking news on my phone. And the missus will be saying, "What are you laughing at?" I say, "If I tell you, you'll just tell me to bugger off."
Will you be laughing like Robert De Niro in Cape Fear, just like,
Well, I'll be laughing
like a loon?
laughing like Robert De Niro because he's desperate to not pay that extra money that the New York tax bods are after now. So I'll be like, then I'll turn into the Joker.
Desperate for most people not to find out about his occult friends and pedophile allies. So.
Well, it's just, they thought they could control it, and thank the Almighty for, say, Elon Musk for giving us the freedom of the internet and not being.
Oh, now you're seeing what countries are posting from as well.
Yes, it's that Korea one, that North Korea one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now that he has the power and he can look in everywhere and it's not being stopped. Do you know what? I was looking at the thing the other day where he said, I'd seen the initial things where he laid loads of people off and they're all crying because they were basically living the life of Riley on extortionate wages and doing nothing. They were actually daring. They thought they were untouchable, these people that worked. Going, I get into work at 10 in the morning. I have a coffee. I sit around with my mates. We talk till like 11:30. Then we do 20 minutes on this. Then we have a lunch, which is all paid for. I play a game of bowls. Then I have another meeting for 35 minutes where we all talk about what we're doing at Christmas. And then we do this. And that was like the day. And they were like 100 grand. And then he came in and went, "Well, you lot fucking getting sacked." But he mentioned how much it cost on food, where people went, they were at home, but the food, the restaurant bit was fully staffed and manned, just with loads of food that was getting binned because all these people decided they're not coming in anymore. All this sort of stuff. So when he tells you all these, you just laugh. And all these people thought they were going to live that life forever, and then they realised they're going to have to do physical work or work for somebody who will actually shit on them if they don't do their jobs properly. And that's what I love about him. You know what I mean? Unless you're the boss of the business, you do what the people above you tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just madness.
All right. Yep. I think we'll stop recording.